This is our latest purchase from ALDI, and it is the Ferrex Pressure Washer, and we've picked this up just as a bit of a stopgap until a more professional machine arrives because our Karcher has just packed up. Wasn't this one here though, this one packed up a few weeks ago. It was this one here that actually packed up yesterday. For some reason, every Karcher we buy packs up. This one isn't a fair comparison though, because this one is about 200 quid. I think what is a fair comparison is the K2, which is £99.97 from Screwfix, and this one here we just picked up is £99.99 from ALDI. So I think these will be a really fair comparison, but let's open up the box, see what's included. Right, user manual, we have our lance, cleaning fluid, and the pressure washer. Okay, so first impressions, it's actually quite a bit bigger than the Karcher K2. I guess that really doesn't mean much. You know, you might have a similar sized pump in this one, but it's certainly coming with a lot more features. One thing I really like about this machine over the Karcher is this hose reel, because the Karcher has absolutely nowhere to store the hose. And in fact, it has this tiny little thing here to store the cable, which I really don't like at all. Whereas this one, I can already see it's got a larger cable spool here, which you can just turn to quickly get the cable off. I think that's actually a really nice touch. And it also has the means of holding all of its own tools. The Karcher can hold a lance, and that's it. Looks like in this one, we've got this scrubbing brush, probably the actual main jet nozzle, patio cleaner, no doubt. And on the front, you've got the gun and the lance all neatly packaged up. And a big orange button on the side here to release the handle, which is of course made of plastic, not metal, but neither is the Karcher. And to be fair, this thing is just a flimsy piece of rubbish. So not much to complain about with the Ferrex. Definitely comes with a few more accessories and definitely looks like a bit more of a robust machine, but of course we'll test that. But the specs of it was 10 meter cable on this one, 5 meter with this one. This one was 1.4 kilowatts, 360 litres an hour at 110 bar. Again, these figures are just what the manufacturers say, probably not that high, because this one quoted 170 bar and 500 litres per hour kind of flow rate on it. So probably unrealistic figures on both, to be fair, but of course we'll test that. I think the next thing is to find a dirty bit of concrete around the farm here somewhere and just try it out, see how we get on. So the first test I have in mind is one outside this stable down here. Loads of hay, loads of other things I'm not going to talk about. But over here, rust stains from an old steel kind of tray we had here. So it'd be really interesting to see, can it lift these rust stains, how well it does clean all that mud along there, and generally, just its overall performance. So I think I'm going to have to get an extension lead and hose over here. We'll connect it all up and see how easy that is. Okay, comes with a nice little cable clip there, and this little T-handle here pops out, which will make it nice and easy to reel back in. What I'm going to do is just chuck the hose in there and turn the tap on, and we'll kind of bleed the system first. We'll get all the air out of it, and hopefully that will prolong the life of your pressure washer, so I'm told. Okay, so I've got the water turned on, and hopefully the machine turned off here, and we'll... Oh, got an unlock button on the bottom here. That's better. It's quite a stiff unlock button there. I was wondering what was going on for a second. You press it and it comes in, but still kind of locks, but lets water out. You really do have to give it a shove backwards. But with that fully depressed, we've got water coming out the end there, so there's no air left in here now. Now we can connect a nozzle and flick the machine on, I think. I'm going to assume this is the ordinary pressure washer one, rather than the concrete kind of patio slab one. Does have to go in a certain orientation. And it looks like we twist it right to turn the pressure down and left to potentially turn the pressure up. But let's flick it on and see how well it does at cleaning some rust. Do wonder actually, should this hose go through this channel here? Let's give that a go. Wind it back in. Oh, that's better. So before it was kind of pulling the machine over. It still is a little bit A little bit light on the base there. Yeah, look at that. Kind of get to full extension here and it's almost wanting to topple over. There we go, that is the full 10-metre hose out, and it's just given us enough distance to reach where we want to go. I think we'll turn this up to maximum, see what our first impressions are. I'm not doing something right. That's a bit better. No. Plenty of water pressure going in. So it does appear there you have to bleed the system for quite a while before it, reaches maximum pressure there, but it's doing a great job at removing the kind of moss and grime from the concrete, making it look quite a bit brighter. And it's just starting to touch bits of green paint here, but it's not even touching this rust at all. I'm not sure if I expected it to. I'm not sure if any pressure washer could remove this, but I'm going to grab the patio cleaning attachment next and see how we get on with that one. So it's not really budging the rust at all, if I'm honest with you. It's maybe lightened it up a little bit, but it's by no means removing it. The green paint, easy, gets that off nice and easy. I feel it is a little bit more powerful than the Karcher, not by a lot, and the machine is quite a bit louder. To me, that doesn't really make any odds. We've got a farm down here, we've got workshops, it's all quite noisy. But if you were doing it on your driveway, I think you're definitely going to feel that. I'm going to switch back over to the ordinary pressure washer kind of attachment now, clean through the rest of this concrete pad and just see what other things we notice. So I'm quite pleased with the end result there. I used the main kind of pressure washing end just to blow most of the crap away there, then came back in with the patio cleaning end, and it certainly gave the finish I was looking for. Got all into the nooks and crannies and it looks quite nice. Still quite a bit more work I've got to do though, of course. I think what we'll do next is we'll give this to Charlie and he can carry out one of his usual valets and we'll get his thoughts and feelings on it. He isn't going to have access to his usual stubby gun and snow foam cannon, which is something to consider. You might be able to get options for, to connect to the Ferrex end here, or maybe even replace the whole gun altogether. But let's pass it off to Charlie and see what he thinks. So not too bad, reeling this cable rail in. Is a bit of a faff, but on the flip side of that, I would still rather have the cable reel rather than the Karcher one where you've just got to kind of roll it up in a ball and chuck it somewhere.
So we have this lovely Dacia Duster down in the wash bay, and inconveniently our Karcher has decided to throw a bit of a hissy fit. Luckily we've got this lovely Ferrex Pressure Washer that Ben's been testing down on some concrete and patios. We're now going to see how it fares on a motor vehicle for valeting purposes, seeing as we do quite a lot of that down here. So my first impressions will dictate whether this is a permanent replacement or whether not very good. Right, so after my first rinse off, we have come to the conclusion that this is rather good. I'm very pleased with the pressure output of this. It's taken some of the dirt off lovely, some of that stubborn stuff that usually you might need a pre-wash for, which is very handy. It means you can just blast through things a little bit quicker and maybe save a bit of money on product as well, not needing to use as much. Our next problem is the attachments for the lance are not the same as Karcher, so I currently don't think that I can use any of my snow foam cannons, which is a little bit annoying. However, I have noticed a little bottle on the back of the pressure washer itself that looks like it is designed for some chemicals, dilution rates and things like that. So we're going to try popping some snow foam shampoo in there and see if we can get it coming straight out the end of the old pressure washer. Right, we have filled the detergent bottle up with some snow foam and shampoo. I have no idea if this is what it's meant for or whether it's going to work, and if it all goes wrong, I'm blaming Toby. So after experimenting, the little bottle on the back does turn out to be almost a bit of a snow foam cannon type thing. However, I think a normal snow foam cannon works miles better than this does. You get more pressure, you get more coverage, and usually the product in there lasts a little bit longer. This seems to drink through it very, very quickly. You can cover a whole car if you are putting shampoo, snow foam, maybe even a pre-wash might work quite well in there. However, it's a nice little add-on, I'd say, to the pressure washer. If you don't have a snow foam cannon and you do want that type of thing, it's there. Look at that! The problem is, I mean, they're quite soft bristles, but I'm not sure I'd want to drag that across a nice car's paintwork. So, not really ideal for putting on a car, but for things like your headlights, I suppose you could use it, or if you just really don't care about your car. But that seems to chuck the soap out really quite well. So I don't know if you'd want to use that as almost a snow foam drizzler more than a cannon, because it kind of just falls out the end. But it does come out, and it does come out a lot better than it does with the normal lance. So all in all, I'm quite happy with this. I think it works well. The attachments definitely have their place, and the pressure's really good from it, so you can't really complain too much at that. I think if we're going to use this on a permanent basis, I will definitely be finding an adapter to fit a stubby gun and all of my snow foam cannon equipment, purely just for ease of use and just so we can get these cars looking absolutely spotless. However, for the time being, this works plenty well enough. So I'm going to get on, finish this Dacia, and I will catch you in a bit.
And there we have it. Charlie's had a chance to play around with it now, and from what I hear, I think he was pleasantly surprised, especially in comparison to the K2 that he's been using before. A couple of things to consider, obviously. The Ferrex, I'm sure, has an excellent warranty, but you know, maybe getting replacement parts from a replacement unit might be hard once these leave the middle aisle, and then you'll be dealing with Ferrex directly, maybe posting stuff back or getting parts sent to you, whereas this, you know, you can pick up a screw fix for the same amount of money, could probably get it swapped out the same day if you had a warranty issue, and could maybe even collect parts from screw fix, something like that. But actually, I think the unit that's more comparable is maybe this K4 power control unit. This is about 200 quid, and supposedly the specs on this are better than this. It's been a while since I used this machine, and I was actually pleasantly surprised with it, and I was happy with it. And I would say it was slightly more powerful than this machine, despite the specs being slightly higher. Of course, this is 200 quid, this is 100 quid. So if we're talking value alone, I still think this machine is probably better, whereas this one was slightly more powerful. So in conclusion, we are pleasantly surprised with the capabilities of this machine, especially at this price point. At the time of filming and recording this video, they are currently in the middle aisle of ALDI, at least the middle aisle of our ALDI. And yeah, really nice things to say about that one. But if you like the video, please click here to subscribe. And if you'd like to see one of our other videos where we review Parkside and Lidl stuff, please click here. Thank you for watching.